In this Minecraft video, we are going to survive 100 days in Minecraft. The twist? The world has a border, and every single day that border will slowly extend. Me and my girlfriend, yes, I'm a Minecraft YouTuber with a girlfriend, miracles do happen, will attempt to survive the full 100 days without dying. Can we do it? Well, you'll have to watch and find out. But before we begin, I'd like to say there is still a massive 90% of people not subscribed to the channel, and I say if you go on to enjoy the video, please consider subscribing. We are so close to 100k subscribers, and if I can get there by the end of the year, that'd be fantastic. Secondly, do you want 200 days in this world? Well, if you get this video to 10k likes, I'll convince her to do it again. Alright then, let's do this. Starting off on day one, me and Anna had literally nothing except 2 single trees. So to start off with, our wood is going to be very limited. 2 quick things I want to explain. Every single day, a command block will trigger to extend the border by 50 blocks in every direction. It's not going to do much, but over days, it will extend the world to pretty much a full normal survival world. Secondly, though I am very experienced playing 100 days in Minecraft, this is Anna's first, and in fact the first time she's played Minecraft in forever. So we'll have to be careful to make sure that she doesn't die. If she does, then we have to restart all the way from day one. After we got the trees, Anna started getting a bit of cobblestone, whilst I decided to get a little bit of wheat. Food was going to be a priority, since the majority of the border was a desert. There wasn't really going to be many animals spawning there. However, to help this perfect start, it started raining, and so mobs started spawning everywhere, forcing us straight underground. There was a cave system directly beneath us, but the mobs was basically keeping us out of that. There was also a mineshaft too, which was quite nice. It got so bad it actually dropped to 3 hearts, and we were trapped in here. We either go down to fight the mobs in the cave, or we go up to fight the mobs on the surface, but either way, we were really going to struggle. We spent the entire day trying to enter the mineshaft safely, you know, rather than blowing up or being bit by a cave spider, you know, normal Minecraft things. We managed to get in, and by day 2, we was able to mine all the iron we possibly could. As well, Anna was able to find herself some diamonds. Honestly, she's just carrying at this point. I'm a little jealous. Also, the mineshaft was so loaded with mobs that literally zombies were falling from the sky. I was terrified. By the end of the day, though, we both had full iron armor and enough diamonds to make a diamond pickaxe, so not a terrible caving trip considering the tiny world that we have. I headed back up to the surface on day 3 where I started setting up some farms. Now that we had a little bit of wheat, I was able to corral some animals. As well, we was finally able to get some beds as well. Now, we could have done this a while ago since we was in the mineshaft with string. It took us a little while to get there, but now that we got the beds, we can sleep away the nights. Good stuff. It was about this point that we actually had a few problems with the command block. Basically, the way it was set up is that it was going to trigger the expansion of the world every day. We did this via a daylight sensor. However, if we were to sleep too quickly, then the daylight sensor wouldn't turn off, which means the world wouldn't expand. It wasn't really a problem since I was able to just manually reset the world from midnight to day, causing the daylight sensor to deactivate and then reactivate. The problem it did cause, however, was the fact that now if we were to press F3, it was going to say day 0 on the F3 counter. I want to make a point of that because I had to do this a decent amount, all things considered, and I don't want halfway down the video people to call me out if we're on day 0 or day 1 or anything. I had to manually count out the days because of this issue, and I apologize if that's an inconvenience for anybody, but it really wasn't that big of an issue. We did 100 days, no matter which way you go about it. The world was actually extended quite a bit now, so it was on day 4 that we took a little trip around the world. There wasn't really much to see, however, we did see a desert temple that was just being cut off by the border. There's not much else here, so I'm just gonna go back to caving, and it was at this point as well that Anna started our little home. I spent all of day 4 and all of day 5 caving. I got 10 more diamonds and a lot of lava. The only real scare was when I fell into this lava here, but nothing that was gonna kill me. Also, Anna got herself a carrot, so now we can really extend the farms really good. Once I got back on day 6, Anna was still working on the starter house. Now, it was supposed to be a starter house, but my starter houses, which is just a wooden shack, and her starter houses, which is like a mausoleum. So I knew she was going to spend quite a few days working on this house whilst I was being productive. I shouldn't say she's not being productive. The house does end up looking really nice. Again, it was meant to be a starter shack, but we'll get over that. Since the wheat farm was set up, it was now time for me to set up a carrot farm as well. And once I was satisfied with that, I headed to the desert temple because now the border was going to let me do it. In the desert temple, I found 2 enchanted books, a sharpness 2 book and a look of the sea 3 book. It was time for me to head back, make some enchants, and, well, get an anvil, because these are some pretty decent books. Oh, it was on day 7 when we made an enchant table. I enchanted all of my gear, and of course I applied my sharpness 2 and look at the sea books to my eligible equipment. And after that, I grabbed some wood. I mean, I could just be a peasant who fishes on the side of the shore, or I could do it like a man and actually make a fishing dock, so yeah, I'm gonna do that. On day 8, I had the fishing dock basically done. I just needed to finish off these few little things. A baby zombie did attack me at one point, but of course it wasn't going to kill me. I mean, come on, it's only a baby. Just before the night came, I was able to finish off the roof, and I straight away started fishing. And on my second fish, I got a flame unbreaking and power 4 bow. Literally the second fish. What a time to be alive. On day 9, Anna joined me at the fishing shack, and we just, well, fished. It was a nice time. Anna also fished up a protection-free Frostwalker boots, which I've never had Frostwalker before. This was going to be really interesting if I could just catch the yoink. After that, we did a bit of storage sorting at the base, and I fixed up the bow because, you know, there's no reason not to have a really good bow at this point. It was day 10 when we explored the world properly. There still really wasn't that much because the border was kind of filled. However, in an ocean, I was able to find a treasure map. It was really abound in, and there was no way we was going to find that treasure because of the border. However, whilst we was looking around the border, I saw a village just on the outside. I made a mark of the coordinates and then headed on. A village is going to be really useful in the long run if we capitalize on it. And once we got back on day 11, we again just organized more stuff. We are just the sloppiest Minecraft players around. Like, normally it's just me, but this time, come on, Anna, that's the reason you're here. On day 12, whilst Anna was doing, I honestly don't really know what, I decided it was time for me to take a peek into the Nether. Anna decided that she just really didn't want to go to the Nether. I guess she's just really scared of it. And so I popped in. Now, recently my luck when it comes to Minecraft Nether fortresses have been really unfortunate. Seriously, I've spent days trying to find Nether fortresses, but... oh, that's one. Seriously, it was like 100 blocks away from our portal I was able to find a Nether fortress, so I popped straight in. I found a couple of saddles and a few diamonds as well, so none of bad stuff from the chests that were all there. However, this Nether fortress was very convoluted, so it took me quite a while to actually find a blaze spawner. I believe it was day 14 when I finally found the blaze spawner and started killing blazes. Also, another really scary moment with lava. I mean, my health was dropping quickly, and oh my god, a little longer in that lava bath and it would have been over and we'd had to start all again. Imagine having to try and explain to your girlfriend that you died in the Nether, so you're gonna have to play another 5 hours of Minecraft. I bet she'd love you even more. Once I got the blaze rods I needed, I headed home. It was day 15, and man, look at the house. It looks so good. Don't get me wrong, it's supposed to be a starter shack, and it kind of one-ups any build I've ever built in Minecraft, but man, it looks so good. Honestly, it's kind of nice to have somebody with me that can build, so I can focus on other things whilst they actually do this kind of stuff. And I did a little bit of fishing with my fishing rod, and I headed to the buried treasure because I was hoping at this point that the border was surpassed it, but nope, unfortunately the border is still covering the buried treasure. On day 16, once I got back home, I headed towards the village. I pretty much just evaluated the situation, see what options we had, stole their bread, and well, just left. Unfortunately, there's not really much I can do here until I set up a proper villager trader, and well, I'm not going to do that on day 16. It was day 17 when Anna officially finished the house and just... oh, look at it. Oh, so good. Oh, it's so good. Can I be a simp to my own girlfriend? I'm going to say yes. And while she was finishing that off, I also started extending the farms. Carried that on until day 18. I let Anna plan everything out. I did try and help, but I got told off because apparently my building skills are abysmal and I should just go and do something else. We have a loving relationship. Once the farms were all done, it was time for me to make a couple of animal pens. It was day 19 when we were doing this. And, I'm going to be honest with you, I'm not really sure what I've written down here. The script says day 19, I started making animal pens, and Anna really wanted pretty work. I don't know what that means, so I'm hoping that I'm just showing you the background what that means. Maybe she wanted to make the world pretty? I don't really know. Once all the animal pens were finished on day 20, it was time for us to go back caving. I found a separate mineshaft from the mineshaft we originally found. At least I think it was separate. And I got to mining. And this is where I spent the next 6 days of my life. Here's a little update on day 23. I had just hit 30 levels and was able to find 9 diamonds. So not a bad start, all things considered. The next 3 days was more of the same. Mining, getting diamonds, the usual. Once we met up in the caves, it was time for us to dig up because I don't think we need more than 20 diamonds for the time being. It was day 27 when we got back and it was more organized and stuff. I started making some diamond armor and I put Frostwalker on the boots. Like I say, I've never had Frostwalker before and it was quite exciting to have for the first time. After that, despite the fact we did have a cow farm, there wasn't enough cows there to actually set up a level 30 enchanter. And so I went into the world looking for leather. Anna decided she was going to set a couple of paths around just to make the world look a little nicer. I gave her a kiss goodbye and then I headed out into the world. I found my first batch of of cows as it was turning night, and I also found llamas at the night. I was smart enough to actually be able to bring my bed, and so I was able to sleep away the rest of the night, and it was on day 28 where I found a second village. And even more cows as well. Isn't this just great? Also, there is nothing more satisfying than being able to run over an ocean. Like, look how fun this is. This is such a simple thing that I did, but man, just look how fun it was. Once I got back home, I killed a few of the cows in the enclosure, and I had 45 leather, exactly enough for a level 30 enchanter. And I was complaining about the noises downstairs because apparently a few holes was left here or there, so I had to deal with a few mobs that were lurking down below. And once I cleared up all that, I was starting to grab some sugarcane, but of course I didn't have enough. I will get that level 30 enchanter soon, I swear. And I wasn't kidding, it was the same day I had the level 30 enchanter. Good stuff. It was day 30 when Anna had officially finished the paths all around the farms and everything, and it looked so good. I decided that I was going to put the level 30 on the island next to our little island, and so I started working on a bridge. Now, for the very few people who would constantly watch my streams when I used to do them back in the day, I basically have been told I'm a terrible bridge builder, but even with this bridge, Anna actually said to me it looks pretty good for what it is, and for me, that's a really big compliment. It's nothing special. I'm going to leave the building to Anna, don't get me wrong, but for the time being, this is the build that I've added to this world, and I think it looks pretty good. We also had got a potato at this point, so it was day 31 where we was able to make a potato farm. It took all day. I basically just used a bunch of bone meal to extend the farm to match the carrot and wheat farms that were next to it, and once that was done, it was time for me to get a couple more levels, and so I went back into the Nether. By the end of 32, I had got myself 30 levels, and so I kept going because I thought, may as well get a couple more enchants. It was by day 34 that I got my 36th level. 2 diamond pickaxes, giving us both efficiency 4 and unbreaking 3. One had silk touch, one had fortune. Honestly, 2 really good level 30 pickaxes. I still want a work pickaxe, you know, just an unbreaking 3 efficiency 4 pickaxe, but Future Haven can deal. Current Haven has got some other stuff to do. And whilst I was enchanting gear and making all of our stuff more secure, what was Anna doing? Simple, she was picking flowers. It was 35, and third time's the charm. I was finally going to get that buried treasure. I headed over, and honestly, it didn't really have anything too spectacular, but the point is that I got it. Perseverance, my friend, you've got to keep trying this kind of stuff. We also found a new village, which I thought, hey, that's pretty good. I did get damage boost over a lake, which I thought was pretty cool. Whoa.
I got this.
That was cool.
What?
I, like, fell, took damage, and it boosted me up in the sky, and I was able to jump over the water. There's another village.
What?
And then we looked through the village where Anna had found a cat. Now, I need to make it clear that this village was about 800 blocks away. It was a very far way away. But of course, since the cat was cute, we had to spend our time getting the cat back home. So ladies and gentlemen, everybody meet Whiskers. Or was it Willow? We'll call him William. And so we set off the adventure getting Wilma back home. It was on the way home as well where I spotted a couple of turtles. Why didn't I get a couple of turtle eggs and get some baby turtles over at our side? And so that's exactly what I did. Luckily I had the Silk Touch pickaxe on me, so I picked up the eggs after breeding them and, well, headed back. We got back on the day of 37. Me, Anna, and Wilma was all back and ready to go. I set up a turtle pen and put the eggs in there whilst Anna started a windmill. She wanted to build something really nice and big, and so a windmill was the first thing that came to her mind. If it keeps her distracted for a couple of days, I'm all for it, and she's a great builder, so I'm not concerned it's going to make the world look any worse than it could be. I mean, you've seen worlds that I built before. I mean, look at Skygrid. As well, it was time for me to get a looting sword. It was time for me to go and hunt the Wither Skulls, and I ended up getting a looting 2 Smite 4 sword. Usually, I'd be quite disappointed about this, but considering that Wither Skeletons are weak to Smite, I thought, hey, that's a pretty good sword, all things considered. Let's head back to the Nether and start hunting Wither Skulls. And thus, the next 18 days of my life was pretty much just this. I also found a warped forest, and I was able to get myself plenty of ender pearls. So when we were ready to take on the end, we won't have to do any more hunting. All the Eyes of Enders would be ready. And then the long task of getting the Wither Skulls by myself was going to start. Again, Anna didn't want to go to the Nether. She didn't really like that place. And so while she's working on her windmill, like I say, I'm just gonna, you know, slice and dice some Wither Skeletons. I believe it was day 53 when I got the last Wither Skull needed. Now it was just about finding my way out of here and getting back home, which merely took a minute, but I did get back. And it was day 55, and well, the windmill looks fantastic. Like I say, I may be a great caver, an alright survivalist, a pro PvPer, but when it comes to building, I'm terrible. Anna, on the other hand, is a pro builder. This is just fantastic. I could maybe build something like that in creative if you gave me 10 hours. But she did it in survival, Jesus. We then spent the next few days caving because it was time for us to both get full diamond armor. This is pretty much what we did until day 60, mining enough diamonds for me to finish off my armor set and Anna to finish off hers. I was also considering maybe I should try and get some more diamonds for a diamond sword. Smite was good for the wither skeletons, but would it be good for the wither or the ender dragon? I actually don't know if it is. My assumption is it would be good for the wither. Maybe you guys can tell me in the comments down below. But by the end of 60, we had all the diamonds we needed and we headed back. It was day 61 where I was preparing to do a level 30 enchanter where I completely forgot that I actually had the 2 pickaxes already. Nevertheless, I got a work pickaxe, which is what I wanted all the ways back. I then level 30'd all of my armor to make it so much better. I felt quite untouchable at this point, to be honest with you. After I sorted out all of my armor, I started helping Anna finish the path for the windmill. This should have been a 5-minute job, but then Anna decided, you know what, we should plant some wheat as well. So here we are on 63, still planting wheat seeds. And here we are on 64, still planting wheat seeds. I gotta admit though, it does look pretty good. And once we finally got all that finished, again, it should have been a 5-minute job, which took 3 days, we finally headed to the end portal. We found a village as well, which again, didn't really have anything in it. And shortly afterwards, we found the stronghold. The last time Anna killed the Ender Dragon was probably 2017, if not earlier. The last time I killed the Ender Dragon was about a month ago when I did it in the jungle world. So really we have different levels of experience when it comes to fighting Ender Dragons. Nevertheless, it was day 66 where I executed Order 66 and killed the Ender Dragon. I did have one really big scare here, but thanks to a well-placed Ender Pearl, I was able to survive the giant jump. And once we picked up the egg, it was finally time to do everyone's favorite part of Minecraft and find an elytra. And so our end journey began where we just started searching everything we possibly could. It was day 72 when we finally found the end city with a ship. I was over the moon about it. Originally I thought it was a really tiny end city, but the closer we got, I realized how big it actually was. And so we spent our time hunting shulkers, finding the elytra, and of course we picked up the dragon head. Why wouldn't we? We did struggle quite a bit with the shulkers. I mean, I've decided that shulkers are the worst mob in Minecraft, way worse than phantoms. But all of the work was going to pay off. Once we got the elytra, we started heading back, and we got back on day 77, a good 9-day adventure where we got an elytra, a bunch of shulkers, and really everything in between. And luckily, we'll never have to go back. I mean, even if we do, we have an elytra this time, we just put like unbreaking or mending on it, and I could just fly around and find another elytra. Anna doesn't even want an elytra. I just wanted it for the video. Actually, now that I think about it, we never even used the elytra. Why did we do this? I thought it'd be cool to make a bit of a shrine to the dragon head, and so I watched Anna fail to make a shrine. Again, I offered to help, but she told me to leave her alone, and so I was like, okay. And so I went into the Nether. Since she was gonna do that, and who knows what else, I was going to go into the Nether and find myself some Netherite pieces. One of the goals we had was to get full Netherite, and before we fight the Wither, which again, probably been over 5 years since Anna's fought a Wither, I thought, let's get some Netherite armor, let's overload how good our gear actually is. And so the next few hours of my life was digging, and more digging. I actually ended up using all 3 of the level 30 enchanted pickaxes, plus more. But by the end of it all, I got my 42nd piece of Netherite. Anybody want to guess how long it took me? Any guesses? If you guessed 14 days getting me to day 92, you would have been correct. It would have been a lot easier if somebody was willing to enter the Nether. That's okay, it's fine, whatever. And once I got back on day 92, Anna had of course finished her shine and then just kind of left for a while. I'm pretty sure she just went to go read a book or something. I don't think she likes hanging out with me, to be honest with you. We had everything ready with a couple of health potions that I picked up from the end city. But just before we set off, Anna wanted to take a couple of screenshots from the world, and well, I don't blame her. It looks really nice. Don't get me wrong, Austin can build, but when it comes to like the prettiest build I've ever had, I definitely think this one takes the cake. It just looks so appealing. I kind of hope I get the 10k like goals just to see how much more we can make the world look pretty. I say we because I'm going to pretend that I'm going to contribute in any way. It pretty much is just me getting materials and Anna building the stuff. It's a good relationship. We found a nice secluded desert on day 94 and started the Wither fight. Being the Legolas that I am, I was obviously a pro shot if you ignore the footage that you're watching right now, and honestly, apart from a little low health at one point, I really didn't feel like we was ever going to die. And so the Wither went down on day 94, and well, it was time for us to make a beacon and finish off this world. We had to do a tiny little bit of caving, but we already had most of the iron as it was. It was day 98 where I was finally able to finish the beacon and make a full powered beacon. What a beautiful time it is to be alive. We didn't really have much to do on day 99, so we just took a little bit of a tour. I had a look at the builds and everything that we had done so far, and I've got to say, I really enjoyed doing this. It's funny how much you enjoy playing a video game with your significant other. It's almost like you enjoy being with them. Maybe I've got this girlfriend thing cracked down. That being said, we are done. We slept one last time and it was day 100, and yeah. I really hope you guys enjoyed the video, and everybody have a great day. Take care, everybody.